We have breaking news this evening out of Queen of the South as the club are celebrating the signing of 19-year-old Croatian midfielder BRUNO Glamasak, having beaten Manchester City to the player's signature. Now, manager Aussie Villain had this to say to the press just moments ago. Is BRUNO going to regret not signing for Manchester City? Financially, yeah, absolutely, 100%. I don't know what he's thinking. It's a dumb decision on that front. But, on the other side, Dumfries is a great place to live. He's going to play lots of games here, and, he's not going to win the Champions League at Manchester City anyway, so he might as well play for us. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Queen of the South. It's Season 8, Episode 8 today. We've got two tricky games in the league against Hibs and Celtic, but the January window is opened, and we have done a little bit of business. We knew already that Harding was leaving. He has left, and to replace him, I wasn't necessarily looking to replace him, but we've signed BRUNO Glamasak, I think you would pronounce that, and I think we've done very, very well. Now, we did actually beat Manchester City, who had a bid in for him, and there was a couple of other Premier League teams as well. What I did is I offered him more playing time, so a regular starter, whereas he was only asking, I think, to be a squad player, and I paid him a little bit more, 10 grand a week than what he was asking for, just to try and make sure we got it across the line. He's a 19-year-old Croatian, and the reason we've signed him, he's not the best in terms of vision. He does have decent flair. He is apparently a winger, but we've signed him as a replacement for Harding, so someone that'll sort of play in the middle, either of these two positions. But what I do like about him is physically he's quite good, and he's got a decent cross, so if we're going to play with the Mazzella role, then he should be able to do it quite well for us. A lot of potential for him to grow. If we look at what he's been doing, Osijek in Croatia is where he's been playing. So for a 19-year-old to have, 60-odd games in Croatia's top division and been playing okay as well, then that's not bad, is it? So I'm hoping, I think we paid for him. 5.25 million is what we paid for him, and that's the flat cost. He had a release fee of that. So yeah, we triggered it and beat Manchester City with the contract negotiations, which is not something you can say very often, is it? Now, we did make one other signing. This one, though, is for the summer. And it is this man, Alexi Almaraz. He is a 17-year-old Mexican. He will turn, you can see there in May, he will turn 18. That's when he will join us. Basically a left-footed Mazzella is what we're looking at here. Now, again, he's got a lot of, you can see the scouts really like him. There's a little bit of room for him to grow. There's a lot of room for him to grow technically, but physically he's not too bad. Mentally, he's not too bad already. Now, we signed him with the compensation, so we're paying 600 grand up front, and there's potentially another $1 million with add-ons. But even so, I think 1.6 million for this guy is absolutely fine. And if we have a look at what he's been doing in his career so far, for a 17-year-old, he has 46 top-flight appearances in Mexico. And again, he's been playing quite well at that level. So I think we can be quite excited to get him in as well. So yeah, I think we've done well. I'm happy with what we've done. There's the January 27th, so there's still a little bit of room for us to make some more signings, but I don't necessarily think we will. I think getting BRUNO in is probably all that we desperately needed to. We didn't desperately need to do it, but you know what I mean. It was something. It was a chance that we had to sign a good midfielder, and we did that. Yeah, this guy comes in the summer. Now, it's not all been good news. So if we go to the medical centre, you can see we've had a few injuries and a few players coming back, but we've lost two important players. Joe Bursick, our goalkeeper, has been injured. Now, he is back in about a week's time. He will be missing the first game against Hibs. He might be back for Celtic. We'll have to wait and see, but that is obviously a massive blow. And the other one that's a big blow is McLean. Now, he's out for up to 3 weeks, so he's out even longer. He will be shocked if we see him in today's episode. So that's given us something a little bit to think about, but we've tried our best to get by, obviously as best we can. Now, there's a few games to catch you up on, 6 in total, so let's not waste any time and do that. The first one in the league was against Wraith Rovers, so let's see how we did against them. We took an early lead when Ibarra ended a goal-mouth scramble. Ianu crossed for Angus to double our lead. Before Ibarra picked out Johnson for our third. So as you would expect against the team bottom of the league, we were just too strong for them. Ibarra played quite well. Johnson looked good up front as well. We did rest a few players for this one. And yeah, it was a very comfortable, very good performance from us. Next up in the league, it was a tougher game, bit of a banana skin against Aberdeen. Johnny Angus was on hand to put us in front. Aberdeen pulled level. but Gilchrist smashed us back in front. Before Bermudez played in Harding for our third. So I was a little bit nervous when they got level, but we responded really well to that, put the game beyond doubt. Harding with the third, it was his last real contribution as the Queen of the South player, so that was good to see. And what about the Gilchrist strike off the bench, playing in midfield? Absolutely wonderful stuff. Next up, it was again in the league. It was one of the better teams, top half teams. It was Hearts. We took the lead when Ep8 picked out Bayless's run. And Bayless smashed in our second before half-time. Hearts pulled one back early in the second half. But McLean quickly restored our 2-goal advantage. Duque found Ong for our fourth. And Ong played in Johnson to make it 5-1. Before Johnson returned the favour for Ong to get his second. So this was just one of those wow games. They shouldn't have scored. They really did anger us. Within a minute, we had cancelled it out. And yeah, it's just never ending after that. So really, really good performance from us this one. And yeah, absolutely destroyed Hearts. The next game to catch you up on in the league again was against St Mirren. Varela played in Ong to put us ahead. BRUNO picked out McLean for our second. And Bayless made it 3-0. Ibarra picked out Ong for our fourth. And McLean added a fifth. So we were far, far too good for St Mirren on this occasion. It was BRUNO's debut, and he looked quite good on debut, played a 7.7. He got an assist. It was everything you could probably ask for him. And yeah, very, very few complaints. You can see Perez was in goal for this one. I think it was his first game in goal. I think he's played 3 overall. And yeah, he did fine, did absolutely fine. So that's good to see as well. All right, next game, final game in the league to catch you up on was against Livingston. We had a half-time lead through Turpey's first for the club. And Irving picked out Johnson for our second. So this really could have been another one of those 4, 5, 6 goal games, but we just couldn't finish anything, which was a shame. You see Ong had a bit of an off day up front. But a first career goal for our youngster coming through, Gary Turpey. So that's excellent. He is continuing to develop well. And yeah, nice to see him get himself off the mark. The final game to catch you up on is in the Scottish Cup. It was our first opponent in that. It was Ross County, a bit of a tricky side for us historically. So let's see if we could avoid a cup set. We fell behind early. Angus picked out Ong to pull us level at half-time. Angus then put us in front, before Varela picked out Angus for his second. But Ross County pulled a goal back. So another one that should have been a lot more comfortable for us, but Johnny Angus absolutely smashing it to pieces. We were fine. Obviously, when you fall behind and then they get back late on within a goal, you worry a little bit, but we were comfortably the better side. So that was not ever realistically a problem. We do have the next round, and it's going to be Kilmarnock in the 5th round. So that's a championship team. Hopefully, we should be able to get the better of them. But a very, very successful period in between the episodes. To have a look at what it means for the table. Unfortunately, Rangers have been just as successful. So we are still joint top on 62 points apiece. Then we've got a wave back to Celtic, Aberdeen and Hibs, who are there or thereabouts. And of course, Hibs and Celtic are who we played today. Nothing else has really changed there too much. We knew we had Bayern Munich in the Champions League, so that hasn't changed. And you can see anyway the next draw for the cup there. Rangers and Celtic are both still there. But let's have a look and see what we're doing here in this first game against Hibs. And we're expecting a 5-2-2-1 formation, I suppose you would call that. And this is the team that we are sending out. Perez continues in goal. Bursic not quite fit to come back yet. Varela, Walker, Leshy and Ep8 will be the back four. Mashagi and BRUNO go in midfield. It is Duque, Ibarra and Angus Ong up top. And let's hope we can put Hibs away. Okay, so we can see the team sheets here. Do we recognise too many? So Dan Iqbal, he starts at Man United, doesn't he? Or he did a couple of FMs ago anyway. Regan Paul, I recognise that name as well, I just saw there. Let's say stick to the game plan, we'll be fine. Let's pump our fists, say to get out there, and hopefully put on a good show. Now, if you want to have a bit of a more in-depth look at how the transfer window's gone, if you go to the Discord, there's a link to it in the description. I've posted all the sort of the major bids that we got for our players. But of course, the good news is we haven't lost anybody, and we haven't lost anybody sort of mentally either with being upset that bids have been rejected. McLean had bids from Atletico Madrid. I think that was the major one. I think Duque may have had a bid from Atletico Madrid as well, but the fact that that's happened and they weren't kicking off and they were wanting to leave, that I think is a good sign. You know what I keep forgetting to do is just make that a permanent change. But anyway, wide areas should be where we can, if we look for overlaps, have an advantage. But of course, if this doesn't work, we can always look to go to the double Mazzellas as well. But it's not been a great game. Let's try demanding a little bit more. Conan Ong is looking nervous. He is a little bit tired. I almost rested him in this one and played Eddie Johnson. I'm wondering if maybe that's what I should have done. Let's try another demand more. We've got a highlight. Angus looks like he's going to come and pick up a free kick, and we don't get to see it. Well, that was a snooze fest, wasn't it? An XG suggests we've been outplayed as well. All right. Let's start hitting the target more often. We can get on board with that. Ong is looking nervous. Now, Ong, why are you looking nervous, mate? What if we say there's no pressure? Go and have some fun. No, that didn't work either. Well, we might have to sub off Ong then. We've got Eddie Johnson on the bench, so there's no harm there. But yeah, if he's not got his head in the game today, then that might just be what we need to do. A bit of encouragement seems to have fired them up. Of course, the problem we have is that with Rangers being just so relentless, we can't afford to drop points because they're not dropping points. Let's try berating maybe, and I think we are rapidly approaching the time. Duque is not having a great game. All right, so let's try just getting rid of all of that, raising that tempo up. I wonder if we try passing into space. And then if that doesn't work, we're going to have to go. We're going to have to ditch the wingers, I think, and go to the Mazzellas. All right, let me think about this. Okay, so we've made 2 subs. We've done the unthinkable. We've taken Ong and Duque, arguably our 2 best players. We've taken them off. It's just not their day. On has come Johnson to play up front and Bermudez to play the number 10, and Ibarra will just drop back in to be a Mazzella for us. So, yeah, I mean, we've had absolutely nothing in terms of action on the field yet. Let's hope those changes fix that for us. We've got a corner. I'll take a goal from a corner. Bermudez drills it in. Oh, it's off the post. It's bouncing around and it's off the line. Wouldn't have been a classic, but it would have been a goal. And now we've got Hibs in possession. It's the first we've seen of them. Ball forward. Oh dear. Perez, save us, mate. Save us, Perez. He does. And well, one thing we have done apparently is opened up the game. So I suppose that's something. Can we get that away, please? Oof. I mean, I did say it would be 2 tricky games. It's nothing that I didn't expect. I would have liked to have thought we could maybe get 1 goal against Hibs. But I don't know if they've come to just try and shut the game down or not. But let's try that maybe. We've not really had any chances, have we? And it's a classic. It's a 0-0. And we can't really have any complaints, can we? So there we go. So we've left the door ajar now for Rangers. They have a game in hand. It looks like it's against the tycoon-owned Ross County. So let's hope that money can get put to good use for us. So there we go. Hibs hold out for draw. I mean, it's not the end of the world. We've got a nice little unbeaten run there. Because we obviously have to play Rangers at least once, possibly twice more. So that if that's the case, then obviously there's still a chance, even if they do win that game and go 2 points ahead, to recover it. But yeah, not ideal. Wait right there, though, guys. We'll be back to face Celtic, and that suddenly looks a lot more like a must-win, doesn't it? All right, welcome back, and some excellent news. Ross County did go and beat Rangers, so from what looked to be a terrible result against Hibs, we've actually gone out by ourselves at top of the table, so that's excellent. Now, transfer window has got hours left in it. We have made a signing. Now, it's one for next season, and it's a player that we already know. It's Ep8. We've signed him 14.5 million. You can see some add-ons there, 50 games, and if we win the Champions League, so potentially it could go up to 26 million, though a large chunk of that is us winning the Champions League. He's going to be on 32 grand a week, which makes him up there with Ong and Bursic as our top-paid players. I just think, I don't know, we're going to find a better right back that'll join us. He's a wonder kid. There's still some room for improvement there. We know what we get with him. If we look at how he did in the Champions League this season, he averaged over 7. It just seemed a sensible thing to do to me. So that's what we've done. 14.5 million. Hopefully you don't think that's a waste. Yeah, like I say, it's better the devil we know, and I don't know that we're going to be able to do too much better than that at our level right now as a right back, and I'm sure we'll be able to sell him on if we need to at a profit at some point. So yeah, that has happened, and again, another one for the summer. Let's have a look and see what we're doing here against Celtic. We're expecting a defensive 4-3-3 from them, and this is the team that we are sending out. Trafford has to go in goal because Perez has injured himself now. So we're not having too much luck with our goalkeepers. So Trafford in goal without too much match sharpness. It's going to be Varela, Bernard, Leshy and Ep8 as the back four, though Leshy is looking tired. I do wonder about the wisdom of that. Mashagi and Bayless go in midfield. Duque, Bermudez and Angus. Ong goes up top. Now, Ong and Angus have played a lot of football. We do have Johnson on the bench. I'm very, very tempted to start Johnson instead of Ong, if I'm honest, because you can see Ong's recent football. Let's do it. I just wonder if he's a man in need of a rest. So we'll make that change, and hopefully we won't need anything else. A little bit of a concern, though. Ong is attracting Premier League interest, and that's not what we wanted. If you couldn't see who it was Arsenal, Villa, and Newcastle were the teams that were interested in him. Now, we can see the team sheets there. I mean, it's not the Celtic team that it once was, but obviously things change as we go on as well, don't they? All right, let's have some fun, as always. We weren't at our best against Hibs. I don't think there's any debate about that. We're going to have to do much better here. Let's hope we are. Another home game, of course. These are the ones we really do need to win. I say home game. We're at Motherwell, but you know what I mean. It's a home game for this season. And, yeah, well, we'll just kind of see how we go. You do look at this and, well, Rangers are already taking the lead, apparently. You do look at this and wonder if maybe a draw is not the end. I mean, a draw's never the end of the world, but yeah, it's just that the Rangers' form really does worry me. Now, obviously, the fact that they've lost the game recently, maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. Maybe that just kicks their ass in gear and they go again. We've almost lost out there, but we've done just about enough. Crossfield ball for Angus. Celtic have actually made a bid for Angus, which we laughed at and then turned down. Wasn't a bad bid. It was sort of, I think it was 12 million or so. But I don't really want to sell Angus, and I want to sell him even less to one of the Glasgow teams. So that was never really going to happen. Angus, oh, almost. Can he get another foot in here? Not quite. They've picked us apart, and there's no offside flag, and we're 1-0 down after 20 minutes. And you know what I haven't done again is this. I do wonder a little bit, are we going to just start and have a bit of a blip at just the wrong time? I mean, we seem to have everything under control, and then I don't know if Ep8 got sort of a bit of a who do I go, who do I mark kind of a moment there, perhaps. Hopefully we haven't just wasted 14 million on him. Let's try a demand more. We've got a free kick here. What's Trafford like in goal? He's going to say we've got it covered. Let's go attacking. We do need to try and get ourselves back into this. We had been playing so well, scoring for fun as well. And apparently we have just... come back to YouTube and decided we'll freeze. Let's try a calm down. That's just made a few people uninterested. Bayless is looking anxious. I mean, it's difficult to know what to do. We have more possession. Our pass completion is fine. We're just not really creating anything. Oh, and that is half time. Let's go with angry and disappointed. We've got more to show, so go and show it. And yeah, we'll give them an encouragement to start the half. And, you know, a highlight would be nice. This isn't working, is it? All right, so we're not going to waste time here. Okay, so we can do this and just make the one sub. So Bruno comes on for Duque. Angus and Johnson will be the two up top. Johnson, playing a 6.3, has a very limited time to get his act together before we call an on. I mean, neither team has played particularly well. I don't know what's suddenly gone wrong with us, if I'm honest. Yeah. All right, Johnson, you've had your chance. Ong, I hope you're well rested. Bermudez is not having a great game, so let's get Ibarra on for him, and that's our changes then. I'm assuming we only get 3. Maybe we get more. Do we get more? No. Let's try and encourage. We've got some defending to do here. Can we do it? Yeah, we'll say just about. But Rangers are beating Motherwell, and, well, Celtic are doing Rangers a favour. You don't want to do that, surely, Celtic. Come on. Let's get rid of all this. Let's raise the tempo. Let's try passing into space, maybe. No, let's get rid of that as well. I might try a berating. Something to try and wake them up. That's fired everybody up. But if anything, we've been worse in this second half. Well, this has actually been quite pathetic. We've had a scoreless episode. I mean, assuming we're not suddenly going to go and score a goal now, but I don't see why we would. And there we go. Well, we got away with 1. We didn't get away with 2. So we do now drop off the top of the table, 2 points behind Rangers. And that's all a little bit disappointing, isn't it? Now, one thing, the way that we play, we can suffer from tired players. Now, we've had a bit of a hectic end because, you know, we missed 2 weeks with the winter break in January. So we have had a little bit of a hectic end to January. I do wonder a little bit if it's just tired legs that have just started to get us to the last few games there where we were okay against Ross County. But I just wonder maybe if that's something that's happened. It's kind of an excuse, but it is generally something that does happen as well. So we've got Motherwell coming up on the weekend, then we've got a week off. So, yeah, it could be something to panic about. It could just be a little bit unfortunate. But anyway, what we'll do is we will come back next episode for St Johnstone in the league and then the return of European football. We will host Bayern Munich, and we need something to cling to before we go back to their place, don't we? But that's all for next time, guys. If you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. And, yeah, take care.